38 is the Gambia's second largest health provider in terms of operations and provision of healthcare service delivery. Upon arrival at one of the country's oldest hospitals, the Finance and Economic Affairs Minister and delegation were taken round the facilities by the hospital's acting Chief Executive Officer. Wandifa Samate took the opportunity to highlight some of the achievements and challenges facing the hospital.
You've also seen big improvements in terms of structure. You've seen new wards being established through the assistance of donors, the Bansang Hospital Appeal. This is a big achievement and a great improvement in terms of offering healthcare service to the needy in the community. However, we still with some constraints. Bansang Hospital is dedicated to providing quality services. If you look at the distance from here to Banjul, it's too far. So we can't send all the patients to Banjul for healthcare. Looking at issues of accommodation and social issues, it's really difficult. So having healthcare to the doorstep of the people is paramount.
Equipment are important in the effective operations of any hospital, especially in critical areas like the maternity ward. And according to Mr. Samate, maternal care is key on the ministry's agenda in their drive to providing quality health services to the people. At the pediatric unit of the hospital, we found this nurse administering oxygen to a week-old baby who is in dire need of oxygen, without which this beautiful baby girl stands the risk of losing her life.
Oxygen concentrators are very important. We are using them as against the cylinders. We use the cylinders, but cylinders are quite expensive. I don't know whether you know, Banjul Oxygen is the only place where you can source oxygen cylinders in this country, and they are quite expensive. They are very expensive, so we need to prioritize where the little money we have goes.
For Mr. Samate, the Finance Minister's visit served as a moral booster to them, adding that the hospital is key in the development aspect of the country. The Finance and Economic Affairs Minister, Abdul Koli, is impressed with what he saw.
We've seen that lots of improvements taking place in this hospital, and that with the intervention of your donor partners, we've done a lot of things, but there are still a lot that needs to be done. And even though you have not given us a cost indication of how much all these things will be, I want to pledge that we will work towards providing at least an additional $5 million towards the cost of this equipment, but we will work with your ministry to find out what the cost will be. If there's need to add, we can add something to it. But this is a pledge from the Ministry of Finance, in addition to the health budget, to see what we can do for these people, because delivery, maternity, and children are very important, and we cannot afford to risk lives that are so dear to us.
Bansang Senior Secondary School was our next stop. The EDF-funded project was established in 2004. The vice principal of the school, Lamin Job, explained that the school has an assembly hall, library, computer and science labs. He highlighted inadequate water and electricity supply as a major constraint. The 4-year-old school, Job said, has an enrollment of 1,120 students, out of which 620 are girls, courtesy of the Free Education for Girls project. In their effort to make education accessible to all, the school enters into partnership scheme with Jolly Riders by renting bicycles at reasonable prices to some of those students who had to commute as far as 8 kilometers away. At the Basse GGC depot, we found Governor Omar Khan and his Council of Elders waiting to receive the Finance and Economic Affairs Minister and delegation. The issue of the granite trade season took center stage, with Depot Manager Usainu Drame leading the discussions. The tour party then proceeded to the Maniakunda farms before visiting the Basse Nawek office.
The situation at the moment is actually normal, as we are actually going around serving out the normal running hours that we need to operate. The only constraint, as has been said before, is the fuel on the fuel side. But apart from that, we are giving out the consumers what they actually want.
Now, how do you operate on a daily basis?
We normally operate during the day from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and in the evening from 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
The governor's residence was also part of this visit, where Omar Khan happily led the visiting delegation round the facilities, knowing fully that the money spent on refurbishing this building was well utilized. He thanked the government through the finance minister for the support. Mama J, Grts.
The joint session of the Park and Pec Committees of the National Assembly Monday morning deferred the adoption of the audited accounts of the National Disaster Management Agency for failing to appear before them, with members of the Disaster Governing Council to clear the air on the agency's audited accounts and activity reports. In a similar session, as Samuel reports, the joint committees later adopted and considered the annual reports and financial statements of the Gambia Granite Corporation.
In what could have turned out to be an all-day proceeding witnessing two major government institutions at Parliament, the situation suddenly took a different dimension when the National Disaster Management Agency appeared before lawmakers without any member of the Disaster Governing Council. After due consultations, members unanimously resolved that the agency's session be rescheduled to enable them appear with members of the Disaster Governing Council, comprising key government ministries.
If there were a member of a board of governors, you were going to be very comfortable. And we don't like to do anything that is out of the rules. So if we cannot get at all a member of the governing council to be here with you, out of 12, if you want, we can shift you to Thursday so that by that time, at least one or two of them will be free and they come and join you.
The Gambia Groundnut Corporation, led by the Managing Director Anthony G. Carvalho and Board Chairman Alhaji T.S. Njai, came next to present their audited accounts and activity reports for the year ended.
The main responsibility of the Gambia Groundnut Corporation is to purchase groundnuts from producers, either directly or through our agents, handle, process, and then the products derived from the groundnuts are exported to the overseas market and some to the local market.
GGC has had to face additional problems. But more important of these problems is the pricing problem, which is exogenously determined. GGC is not free to set its own price. Price is determined by a complex process of simulation, subject to government approval, of course. And over the recent past, government has always directed that prices paid to farmers be made attractive enough, sometimes regardless of the international price.
Total operating income for the year amounts to 497,141,676. For the composition of this figure, please refer to page 16, note 11. Where here, there is an increase of $232,453,546 or 87.8% when compared to the year 2010 of the same period.
The GCC's turnover and the producer price for 2010-2011 groundnut marketing season, as well as groundnut purchases and purchasing agreements with dealers, were highlighted in the reports. Consequently, members raised questions, concerns, observations, and recommendations on the laid reports on ways of further improving the country's cash crop.
The reasons adduced are not adequate. I mean, I cannot understand if you tell me probably we noted it, we don't have the listing. Finance should be well staffed to be able to manage those funds.
The financial situation of GDC can be best described as weak or precarious. This is on page 6 of the accounts. On page 6, the fixed assets of the year stood as at 87 million. And the book worth of the corporation is seriously eroded by looking at the net asset figure, which is just 27.5 million. The corporation, Honorable Chair, is not in a position to pay its commitments.
Honorable Seni Mbai and the member for Serekunda West, Suleiman Juve, both saw the need to subsidize farmers during planting seasons, while Malik Cisse called for the revitalization of the Kaur depot, which is currently underutilized.
Kindly tell us what you did right
in 2000.